And we are live. Shema everyone, it's JonnyVR here, and I'm joined by my friend Daniel, back for Doctor Who Day. Now I want to apologise because I was saying to Daniel earlier on, I had planned to do a little bit more for this year's Doctor Who Day, like last year with the quiz and everything, and it was really fun. But my laptop has been dead, as with little hope of living. But now it has regenerated, so hopefully we can get through this live stream. But I didn't have time to prepare a quiz. So what I was, it's going to be a chill one. We're just going to have a chat about all things Doctor Who. So do leave a comment in the chat. We can see your messages and we can have a good laugh as well. Dan, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, it's been a good day. Happy Doctor Who Day.
Happy Doctor Who Day. Did you see the video of David Tennant wishing everyone a happy Doctor Who Day?
Yeah, and what I have to say about that is, how is he still looking that good at like 50 years of age or whatever he is?
It's because he's a real Time Lord, he doesn't age. Like he's looking the same as he does, always. Can you believe it's been like 10 years since his Day of the Doctor appearance and like 15 years since his first appearance? Well, more than 15 years. It's like
16 is it?
Yeah, something like that. It's mad, right? Like it's not like he was not like Tom Baker at the end of Day of the Doctor, where he's like, of course, like decades older than he was when he first took on. But it's been like a good nearly 2 decades since, and he's still looking the same. And I do believe I remember saying in the last year's live stream, like, because we started talking about 60th anniversary coming up, and we were like, I said David Tennant will be there for sure. Like, David Tennant will just need any excuse to go back to Doctor Who. And 1 year later, here he is as the 14th Doctor.
Yeah, we thought it was, it would have been like a Day of the Doctor sort of thing where you have the new Doctor and then maybe 3 or 4 other Doctors return in like that episode, whereas nope, he is the main Doctor for the episode, and not episodes 3 episodes.
3 episodes. Can you believe it? Like, can you I saw this really funny meme where it was like I went into a coma in 2006, and it's like I've just woken up in 2022, and it's like, nurse, can you tell me who the Doctor is? And she's like, the Doctor's David Tennant. And she's like, phew, I haven't been out that long then. But
I don't think anyone could have expected that he was going to be the next Doctor again, and not just having him return, but Russell T being back as well. Like, it's just...
I know. It's like do you remember what it was like in 2010 when Stephen Moffat has just had his first series coming out with Matt Smith, and we're thinking like, it's Doctor Who, but it's different, slightly different. Got Stephen Moffat in charge and new companion, new Doctor, and then like you thought that was it. You thought that was like long gone. Like Russell T would never come back, but no, it's not the case.
Yeah, he. It's back to classic New Who. That's the best way of saying it, isn't it, really?
Classic New Who.
But it'll be interesting to see how different Russell's writing will be compared to when he first wrote, David Tennant will act, as he did the first time, whereas Russell, he's done a lot of shows since then, big ones as well, It's a Sin and years. So it'll be interesting to see how his writing and how his episodes are now or in the future, compared to what they were like back in 2006 and 2007.
We got one comment from Conpow10 saying, do we play Overwatch 2? And a little wave. And I'm like, I don't play Overwatch 2, but we do have a gaming channel, youtube.com/Skybot Gaming. And I've played the Doctor Who games on that channel, which are very good, and I have really enjoyed playing those. So if you're interested in gaming videos, you can go check that out. And if you're interested in Doctor Who gaming videos, you can go out and check those as well. Have you seen them, Daniel? Answer wisely.
I have seen them,
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I've been kicked out of the chat if I answered no then.
Yes, this would become like I would take up the full screen and we'd move on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, 60th anniversary coming up, and like we've had like the first sort of glimpse, like the teaser trailer of David Tennant looking a bit confused as to why he's back as his old face, and of course had like Donna appear as well, and then of course Ncuti Gatwa as well, which I didn't actually know that he'd filmed any scenes like for the 60th, because of course like he's probably due to start filming his full series like within the coming months.
Yeah.
But, what do you think of that? Do you reckon we'll see a brief appearance from Ncuti?
Yeah, I think what with the brief 5-6 seconds that we saw of him in the trailer for next year, I think that'll be in the 60th. But from what I believe, we'll have a festive episode afterwards that will be where he's the Doctor.
Yeah.
So I think we will get a full episode of Shooty next year at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Millie will be in that or if it'll just be him, finding his way as the Doctor now. I have no idea, but yeah, I think he'll be in the 60th just for a little bit. Like I think he'd be somehow suppressed in the Doctor and waiting to come out, but for some reason he hasn't come out yet.
Do you think? Do you think that's one way of looking at it? Like as if kind of like they did in The Power of the Doctor, where they brought all the other Doctors back, but like in this sort of limbo place where the previous regenerations sort of are. Do you think it's going to be more like that? Like he's not actually the Doctor yet, or do you reckon since he's actually said a sentence, he's actually filmed, in person. Do you reckon it would be something more along the lines of what Peter Capaldi had in Day of the Doctor, where he appeared without saying anything, sort of part of the story, before taking over?
I think it'll be like he suppressed sort of thing, because from what he says someone better tell me what is going on, and the fact he says someone makes me. It sounds like he's speaking to multiple people. So could it be multiple Doctors potentially? Maybe a Matt Smith or a Capaldi in there. I know they've both said they're not going to be in it.
We don't trust
Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man shows you should never listen to actors.
Not only that, but David Tennant himself, when he was asked, are you going to return for the 60th? And he was like, oh, no, they haven't asked me, Even Catherine Tate was the same. She was like, I'll answer the call if they phone, but I haven't heard anything. It was all a load of rubbish. They knew all along.
Yeah.
And they were just messing with us. So I definitely think that there'll be some surprises. What do you think? Who do you reckon are the most likely ones to show up?
I think the new Who Doctors. So obviously we know David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Capaldi, but I don't see Jodie being there just because
it's quite soon, isn't it?
Yeah, she's just left. But then I don't know. Maybe they will include her, and I can't see Christopher Eccleston being there. Him and Russell T seem to have a fractured relationship now.
Yeah, true. I mean, that would be. I think that would be. I think the biggest surprise ever if he actually made another TV appearance, even if it was a brief cameo.
It'd be impressive if Russell could get him to do that.
Yeah, it would.
Because as you said, it would be a shock. Whereas Matt Smith coming back wouldn't really shock me.
Yeah. Because funny enough, one of the things that was announced today from like the various sort of distributors of Doctor Who content is from Big Finish, right? I can't remember what it was called, but it was a 60th anniversary series on audio drama, right? And it started. It's 8 parts long. And it starts kind of a bit like Time Lord Victorious, with one release every month from May until like November. So like a series of specials. And in those specials is each one of the Doctors. And it's like even the old ones like Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, David Tennant is in there himself, probably as the 10th Doctor. Christopher Eccleston is also included in that. He's going to be in it, in this sort of set of specials where all the Doctors are featuring. So he's going to be at least in some 60th anniversary celebratory content. But again, it's the TV appearance, isn't it? It's like, if that happens, it would be something special, I don't think it would. I think probably they would go for the like they've done in the past, like the leather jacket figure running, but you can't see his face, something like that.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, because he, like, obviously Christopher Eccleston looks a lot older now than he did before, and so would they, if he was to come back, would they try and make him look younger? Would they just let him look older? Or I don't know how they would go about it, because David Tennant, even though he is older, almost 20 years older, he still looks like the same person, really.
Yeah.
He hasn't got like
the same.
He hasn't got grey hairs and all that sort of thing. So it's pretty easy for them to palm off that he's the same person, even though he's the 14th Doctor. But you know what I mean. But with that audio Big Finish drama, is it called like Once and Future or something?
Yes,
like that?
That's the one. Once and Future.
Yeah, I saw someone retweeted it and they said that they've been working on it and it's been like 3 years in the making or something.
Yeah, of course. I think it has to be. I think I remember at some point in the last 12 months, they were like, we've got this special thing planned for November 2023, which is, of course, the 60th anniversary, but they didn't tell anything else about it until now. So, but yeah, it's interesting. Of course, it's Big Finish, so it's going to be expensive. So I don't know whether I'll get a chance to listen to that. But
yeah, this is the thing.
Fun idea. It has the new logo, of course, the diamond logo, which, of course, is looking very cool on all of the social medias and things, I gotta say. Do you like the new logo?
Yeah, it's very much like Tom Baker's logo, isn't it?
Yeah.
That diamond logo, but also with a modern Disney Plus.
Yeah, the Disney Plus
finish.
Blue.
Yeah.
But
I love how Disney Plus are calling it Disney Plus Original.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. That's quite funny. That is. But funny enough, I saw a tweet from Disney Plus today, right? That because of course they want to promote the new series because it is going to be on Disney Plus overseas, and they were saying like Happy Doctor Who Day. See you on Disney Plus next year in the Whoniverse, or the Whoniverse is something like the Whoniverse is coming next year, which is what the trademark was. That was made by Wolf Studios Wales, which is now the production company of Doctor Who. Do you think they've got spin-offs lined up?
100%, absolutely. Like Russell, he did as much as he could when he was in charge before on a tiny budget to get 2 spin-offs that were, super successful. Like I know, obviously, Sarah Jane Smith Adventures wouldn't have had the most views in the world, but for a kids show that was on right just after school finished, that had a lot, at one point it was reaching hundreds of thousands of views, so it was still a very successful show for what it was, but with big budget from Battle Studios and Disney Plus now, I think spin-offs are definitely in the making. I'm just curious as to whether they're going to be spin-offs of characters we've had before, or if it'll be spin-offs of characters that we'll meet in the future, like in the next series, and then it'll be spin-offs of them, sort of thing. Like we had a spin-off of Captain Jack in Torchwood after he was introduced, or would it be people that we've had already, like a Jenny series or something like that?
Thing is, it's like, what do you do with like the timing of it as well? Because like, say, like you say, Russell T Davies introduced characters and then made spin-offs. Like now we're about to enter into a new era for the show, where you have a new Doctor and new characters. Do you like wait until like you have the episodes out and then you can announce a spin-off, or do you announce that there's going to be a spin-off with a character that we haven't met yet, or that there's going to be a spin-off with the characters that we know and love but it doesn't really connect into the show? Because I know he's thrown around these ideas before that you could have like I think he mentioned about like old companions, or like a short mini series with the 10th and 11th Doctor, from the past, like where it would fit in the timeline somewhere else. So it's possible, like.
Yeah, I would love. A lot of people say this that I've seen on Twitter as well. A series of Paul McGann's Doctor.
We
need more of him.
I was so happy to see him in the Power of the Doctor. Even like, and all the Doctors that were there, but he. I was good to see him, like especially because he had his regeneration scene in the Night of the Doctor 10 years, for the 50th. So yeah, it was really. I think is one of the things that a majority of Doctor Who fans would be interested in. The missing adventures, the series that should have been, to link up between the movie that he was in and like the war, before he regenerated.
Because this is the thing, because if they did a series about it, obviously they would do about the Time War. But it's interesting because the Time War that Russell had an idea of is quite different to the idea that Moffat eventually put onto screen. What Moffat did was more just the Time Lords against the Daleks, whereas if you rewatch the episodes with Russell T wrote and mentions the Time War, it's almost always about how everyone and everything was involved in this war.
Yes, yeah, of course. Like the Nestines in the very first episode, their home planet was like destroyed by the Time War. Like,
yeah.
So, and of course, it's not just the Daleks and the Time Lords. It affects all of creation. In the thing. Oh, we've got loads of comments. I'm just going to read a few. From Dave Bevan, who says very Valiardi. So I think he was talking about your interpretation of what maybe Ncuti is doing, like that sort of internal sort of persona waiting.
Or maybe David's Doctor.
Or maybe David's Doctor. Yeah, true. And he says yes, Paul McGann. Maybe interesting. He says maybe that's why no robes. That is like a next level interpretation, because of course they had the whole scene where he was like, everyone was in robes, and they said like, why are you not in robes? Maybe because he has something extra to do. That's quite funny. I like that a lot. Disney Plus fan says, I never got into Doctor Who, but will watch on Disney Plus. Now, this is exactly why the Disney Plus deal is a good thing for the show. Never, someone who's never watched the show, but they'll give it a go now. Disney can get it around the world to loads of people now.
This is the question I have for you. So will they be putting all the older episodes, by older I mean New Who, so from 2005, will they be putting all those episodes on Disney Plus?
I think that they probably will overseas eventually, because first of all, like, they made it clear when David Tennant's episodes and Ncuti's episodes appear like on BBC here in the UK, they will go straight to Disney Plus overseas. Maybe this is like the next night or the evening after or something like that. They will be on Disney Plus to stream pretty much instantaneously. But of course, here in the UK, BBC has all of the streaming rights of the Doctor Who. So if you want to watch Doctor Who from 2005 onwards, it's on iPlayer. I think, and then all classic Who is on BritBox. I don't think that this like deals like have an impact overseas. I think Doctor Who is like, I think it was on HBO at one point. It was definitely on Netflix at one point. So I think what's going to happen is when whatever existing agreement sort of runs out, and whatever streaming service has to give it up, Disney will have sort of the priority since they are the exclusive streaming rights of Doctor Who overseas. Do you know? Because then they could say not only are they the exclusive home of Doctor Who overseas, but you can watch everything. It can be the home of Doctor Who overseas.
So do you think they'll put Torchwood and Sarah Jane on there?
Possibly. Like, this is the thing. Like, Disney overseas and Disney here, like, it doesn't have to have that. Like, it has The Walking Dead on it, you know. It can put Torchwood on it, for sure. But the thing is, whatever is possible overseas, because with Disney Plus, we won't get it. Because it's all going to be iPlayer here.
This Disney Plus fan said, I heard from a friend they need to watch from 2005 or something like that. Yes, don't listen to other people and start watching from David Tennant. Start watching from Christopher Eccleston.
Don't skip 9. Don't skip 9.
Yeah.
His basically 2005 is the great stepping on point. It was the point in the show where it had been off the air for a good long time,
like 15 years.
Yeah, it was like over a decade, and it was brought back sort of in a modern style under Russell T Davies, and it sort of reintroduced to everyone. So he wrote specifically the first episode, Rose, with like covering everything: the TARDIS, the companions, the Doctor. You know, he hits all the bases, so that's like the perfect stepping on point. And it makes me wonder whether he'll do it again with this new Doctor, like whether back to basics, introduce again. Do you know?
Yeah, this is what I'm curious about. Is he going to try and do it like a reset? Because I feel like when Chibnall came in, he sort of tried to do a bit of a reset from Geordie's first episode onwards. Or will he just sort of carry on as if everyone already knows everything? I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Well, I think the good thing actually is the fact that because we have David Tennant as a new Doctor, the 14th Doctor, but without, like, we're not for a very long time, like 3 episodes. Any introduction can be done already in those short time sprays. So, like, the fans who have been watching the show will recognize David Tennant. They'll know, like, everything already. But for anyone else, they can, like, he can use this sort of the starting specials to, since there's a celebration of the 60-year history, he can for sure tie this in here. So when it comes to Nshuti's 15th Doctor, he's not sort of burdened with the making sure everyone knows what a Dalek is, you know.
Yeah, and I'm also curious about how many of the old monsters he'll have returning. Will he use potentially monsters that actually have come after he finished? You know.
Yeah. Well,
he might see a monster and think, I can add something to that and make them a bit better than what we got before, either from Chibnall or Moffat.
True.
So, yeah.
We got a comment from Dave who says, Disney Plus fan says, okay, cool, thanks guys. Yeah, no problem. We're always happy to get more people watching the show that we love. Dave Bevan says, will be nice to see if will be effects quality uptick with that sweet mouse money. Now, this is something I'm actually seen a lot around. Is Disney actually contributing to production or not? Because in the actual like press release document, it just said that Disney was going to be distributing Doctor Who overseas outside the UK to like over 100 and something different markets. Does this mean that Disney has any input into the story, into the production? I don't think so.
I think story, no. Russell will have full control.
For sure.
Like he wouldn't come back if he didn't have full control. So I don't think people need to worry about Disney going to make it Disney-fied with the stories. In terms of production, I think they will have a little bit of input. There was that article that was output by, I think it was TV Zone maybe, or maybe it was the Telegraph, or I don't know. It was somewhere. a couple of weeks back, and it said that there would be like 100 million from Disney pumped into the new season, which would basically be 10 million an episode.
Do we really? Like
That seems a lot.
Like 10 million episode. Like, this is quite high. This is like Game of Thrones level money, per episode.
But to be fair, like, you have to think back to when Russell was in charge before. How he got it to. I know there was maybe the Lazarus episode, things like that, not the best quality. But in terms of other things like Stolen Earth and with the planets in the sky and all those sort of things, that did look quite impressive for how little money it had and when it came out back in the time. So
yeah.
I'm excited to see what he can get. If that money is true, if it is that amount of money, we just see how he gets it to look with that.
Yeah,
I'm expecting like big explosions and
there's a great comment from Dave Bevan who says longer corridors to run down. Yeah, love the running, infinite running.
Well, we already had in the trailer for the episode next year, you see David Tennant running in that one, so he's instantly back in the running down the corridors.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I don't know is the answer. Like, for sure, the deal to put Doctor Who on Disney is Disney will have had to pay to put it on their service, like, exclusively. There's got to be some money coming in from that. Whether all of this money is going to go to production, like, I really am not sure. 10 million an episode. Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, like maybe some of that 10 million that'll go towards some of the actors that will be in the episodes. Some of the backing cast, which you could have better actors in that. Then you could have bigger names, which could draw in some viewers for those episodes. Then, so yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Well, one thing interesting was that before Russell T announced like the Doctors and things, before like anything, there were rumors that it was going to be on Disney Plus, and these rumors turned out to be true. And people were like, "It'll never be on Disney Plus," and then it turned out to be true. People said that David Tennant was returned as the actual Doctor, and then someone else would take over. This turned out to be true. There's like a reliable leaker now. Somebody on the inside is giving the information. And I
wouldn't be surprised if the leaker's Russell T.
No, exactly. He said that when the 14th Doctor rumors, he said that some of them were him putting it out there. So I wouldn't be surprised. But one of the things that was rumored was that Doctor Who was going to use a Mandalorian style film set. So do you know how it works on The Mandalorian, Daniel? Have you seen like the way that they film it?
I've seen the episodes, but I've not seen how they film it.
So basically, what I understand of it is basically they have a small set, okay, and this is what they've done for all of their shows, like Loki, WandaVision, all of the ones that look visually impressive, like with the big set pieces, alien planets, and whatnot. It's because they have a small set, and they have kind of a massive circular screen around them, and the background on the screen is computer generated. So like they literally have like video game level like graphics like streamed onto the backdrop of the set. So then you can stream like you had like Star Wars Battlefront on PlayStation. You could put that as the background of your set and act like that. And what this means is that they have better lighting, because when this was all done with green screen before, you get some sort of green flare back, but now all the light is coming from the light that you choose. If you want to have an orange sunset, you can put an orange sunset on the screens and your actors will be bathed in the orange light,
Okay.
And it means you don't have to spend massive amounts of money to build sets. You can just video, do it all computer generated live on screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, this was like revolutionary for The Mandalorian to make it look so good. And when this rumor came out, I was like, no way does the BBC have a budget to make this. But now with the Disney Plus deal, maybe it's not like they'll have money to put into budget, but maybe they could lend this this thing, or give them the space to film something in this set that they have pioneered.
I think I don't know. I don't know if they'll go down that route. I don't know if Russell would want to go. I'm assuming that he's not really done something like that before, so I don't know if he'd want to do that, or if he just want to continue with how they've done it before, how they know best, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, we never know, but it's interesting. Just the way that the rumors that people thought, oh, that's ridiculous, that'll never happen, turned out to be true. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Dave Bevan says, all set up by Moffat in Day of the Doctor. Now, this is really... I want to know your take on this, because this is a good point. In the Day of the Doctor, of course, you get Tom Baker coming back as a sort of future incarnation of the Doctor, now known as the Curator. And he says, in times to come, you'll find yourself revisiting a few familiar faces, like just the old favourites, eh? Now, 10 years on, this has come to pass. Do you think that, like this is, like, Russell T had used this sort of idea to bring back David Tennant as an incarnation for the state of the show that it is in when he took it over?
I'm gonna say no, because I read that during the lockdown when they had some of the like watch parties for the Doctor Who episodes.
Yes.
Someone started a thing they picked like a few episodes, and then people would watch them together and tweet about it. And they got like, and for one of the episodes, Russell and Catherine Tate and David Tennant tweeted throughout the entire episode.
Yeah.
And then they were messaging each other afterwards, being like, "Oh, that was great fun," or whatever. And then joking about saying, "Oh, it wouldn't it be funny if like we could, all do another episode together again in the future."
Yeah.
Then obviously Russell gets the lead-in job.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Does the thing of
do you know what Disney Plus fan says, guys, hit like I did. Yeah, do click like and subscribe to our channel if you want. Disney Plus fan, I don't know if you're already subscribed, but Shaq makes loads of Disney Plus videos. And also we do have loads of Doctor Who videos on this channel. So do hit like and keep chatting. Give us your thoughts on all things Doctor Who, and we're happy to discuss anything. But what were we talking about? About that whole discussion in 2020 when they were doing the watch parties, and I like at the point when Russell T was like, "I'd like to do it again." Catherine Tate was like, "I'd do it again," and then David Tennant says, "I'd like to do it again." The way that Russell T was like, "It's my duty to take this to the BBC and get this made," and I believe he was like saying how like he didn't know whether it would be just like one special or whatnot, but like the thing that strikes me most about this story is that it was in the making. Like, it's 2022 now, and it was in the making since 2020. And 2020 was the time where series 12 of Doctor Who had just been airing or was about to air.
It finished airing.
It was New Year's Day of 2020, right? So it had aired. At this point, you have a lot of controversy around the show, criticism of the writing, and then you have David Tennant, Russell T Davies coming to the BBC and saying, "Can we write again for Doctor Who?" Next thing you know, you have Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker will leave after a series of specials on the 13th series. Like, was Russell T Davies the catalyst for the end of the Chibnall era, in your opinion? What do you think?
It's interesting because Chibnall said, I think it was in the summer, he said, "Oh yeah, I'd only ever planned to do 3 series, and by the end of me and Jodie were always going to leave together. So as soon as she said she was leaving, I joined as well," sort of thing. That's what he says. Doesn't mean that's the truth.
Because of course he said he had a 5-year plan. didn't he? And
Yeah,
it was 5 years, the era. But does that mean if the era had been a critical success and well watched, do you think he would have liked to continue? Dave says he did not want to go. I'm assuming you mean Chris Chibnall about this stage. You can confirm if you want.
I think he meant David Tennant's Doctor, because he says, I don't want to go.
Yeah. Also, yeah, he didn't want to go. But yeah, what do you think? Do you reckon Chris Chibnall would have stayed if things had been differently, or would have wanted to?
I think he would have. I don't know if he would have wanted to have a new Doctor, to write for a new Doctor. I don't know if he would have. His era has been defined by having first leading female Doctor and all those things. I don't know if he would have wanted to do another Doctor, because anything he did, if he went for a guy, then it'd be like, oh, he's backing down from what he did before and everything. I think he was always going to leave as soon as Jodie left. I don't know if Russell would have gone behind Chibnall's back and been like, time for me. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, maybe I'm fully sure that Russell T was never like that either, because he was always saying like, I know I'm coming back, but I want to watch the episodes first. Because it's his favorite show. But I'm talking about like, what about the people up in the BBC? Because he went to like high up in the BBC. Do you think the BBC saw this as a chance to rejuvenate the show from where it was at?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it was at its highest point in terms of viewership and everything when Russell T was in charge. Like, when you had David Tennant regenerating the stolen Earth at the end of that made it onto the news. An episode of a fictional show, they had a segment about it on the news because of how big it was and how much people were talking about it. Like, that's the heights it was hitting. It had, I know it was a bit earlier on, a couple of years before, but they had Kylie Minogue in an episode. So, and I think that's the most viewed episode ever. Like, so yes, they would have clearly seen, if as soon as Russell says, "Oh yeah, I have an idea," I think they'd be like, "Yeah, 100%." Because otherwise, who else would they have brought in? I don't think they would have had someone. And if you have someone before who was successful at it, then why not go for them?
Yeah. There was talk about maybe a few writers who had been like writing under Chibnall, taking over, like what had happened previously. Like Stephen Moffat was a standout writer, and then he became the showrunner. Chris Chibnall had written previously, and now he became showrunner. But under the Chibnall era, there wasn't any standout, writers. You always talk about in the early seasons since 2005 the Moffat episodes, because they always were very, very strong. That for sure, like if they announced that one of these writers would be taking over, you'd be like, you kind of would think like, a couple of episodes in the Jodie era and the show is theirs. It would be hard to like. You'd think about it, right? But with Russell T Davies, it's kind of like like it's tried and tested. He's proven, that he's capable of making the show. And making the show great.
It's things like if you'd had, as you said, like a writer who had done a couple of episodes of the Chibnall, they say he's going to be the head showrunner now. That's not going to bring anyone back into the show really, or many more viewers. Whereas they announced Russell T's coming back. The amount of people have mentioned to me about Doctor Who hadn't watched it since Tennant left. So over 10 years they haven't watched Doctor Who. And then all of a sudden they take an interest again because of one, Russell T coming back, and two, Ncuti Gatwa being the Doctor. These are massive things that bring in viewership in. And I know people have been critical about it on Twitter, saying that Russell shouldn't have come back and David shouldn't have come back and shouldn't have these things just to draw viewership back in. But if you don't bring viewership back up, the show can't continue that much longer. So I don't really know what people want. You want the show to continue that you love. If you don't want the viewership to go up, well, eventually it's going to get cancelled. So surely this is your best bet for getting the viewership figures back up again.
Nice comment from Dave. Says, be nice to see if we get some Moffat and Gatiss episodes, or even another Gaiman episode.
Gaiman was the name I was thinking of, but I don't know if he'd come back to Doctor Who.
Yeah, it would be.
Did he write Nightmare in Silver?
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did.
I think he had a bad experience with that because I think, from what I've read, he on Twitter, the way he wanted the episode to go, it was changed quite a bit, which ended up making it a crappy episode in the end. Because you have to admit it wasn't the best episode. No. So I think But then that was under Moffat. Maybe under Chip Russell now would be different. But then also we don't know with these new episodes for the new season, are they all going to be written by Russell? Because as far as I know, that's what it sounds like. Because he said in the new Doctor Who magazine that recently came out, he's currently writing episode 7, which makes it sound like he's written all the other ones.
But yeah, well, it's funny because we haven't really heard much about writers. Really, that's one thing that haven't been like announced. Has it? You know?
Yeah, we've had different, like, the directors announced.
Yeah. I think we can assume that the 3 specials were written by Russell T, right? Because he had already written these. Like,
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's like there hasn't been much, and it would be a very Russell T thing to do to announce, like, oh, this is who will be writing for an episode or contributing an episode to the new series. But that's one thing that hasn't actually been talked about a lot.
Yeah, I think from how little we've heard about it, I'm just assuming that Russell is writing every episode essentially. So for Shooty's new season, it will be Russell taking charge. Maybe as new seasons go on, it'll change. Like, you know, in season 1 when Christopher Eccleston was in charge, Russell wrote, was it like 8 or 9 of the 13 episodes? You know, he had a large chunk of it because he was the one bringing it back. He wanted to have more control of it. Yeah. But then as the seasons went on, he gave more freedom to more writers to write their own episodes.
Yeah, maybe it is just that, like, taking the era again, giving it the stamp, like, you know, the step forward, you know, and then, you know, giving it as a playground to other writers to contribute to. It's interesting that. Disney Plus says, okay, love the content, but I need to go. Have a great stream. Bye. Thanks for watching, Disney Plus fan, and do come back to watch other videos as well. And at live streams, be sure to join back on live chat. It's been great having you. And same to everyone else on live chat. If you want to leave a comment, we can see them in front of us, and we're here to discuss all things Doctor Who on Doctor Who Day. And we've even got Mad Libs coming up later on. Like, so if you don't know the ideas of a Mad Lib, is like you guys can create a story by giving nouns and adjectives and things. They can have some funny stories at the end of it. So if you want to contribute a noun or an adjective to a Doctor Who themed story, stay tuned. Let's talk about like the actual episodes that are coming, right? 3 specials with David Tennant. Then what? Because Russell T has said that the 3 specials will go out in November 2023. So does that mean in November 2023 we get like a mini series of 3? Like, will it be like the mini 60th anniversary series? Like, what do you think?
I don't know, because like, will it be? Because also, how are they going to do it? Are they going to do it 3 episodes over 3 weekends?
Yeah.
Or will it be 3 episodes in 3 nights, like a 3-night bonanza sort of thing, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Because he did that with Torchwood Children of Earth, didn't he? He put 5 episodes Monday to Friday.
Yeah, boom, 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 all done.
What day is the actual Doctor Who day next year? Like, because maybe it could accumulate on days leading up to it. Let me check.
I was checking that. Dave Ben said, what classic non-monster character from Classic Who should be returning? he says the meddling monk, Romana, Rani, Omega.
Omega.
It's the thing. This is what I was saying too. Like, how many of the classic things will he be bringing back? Because it's obviously something that he did when he brought back the first time. But obviously now he's trying to get new viewers into the show, but he can still bring in those classic people. I'd love to see the meddling monk in another episode. Yeah. That'd be a great one.
I would love to see Omega, and I've been saying this to Daniel for years.
Yeah, we had a whole theory that he was going to appear in Series 9.
Or Series 10, right? Series 10, the final season, because there was the whole thing with the black hole in the final episodes.
Yeah, Series 10, and we were convinced he was going to make an appearance, and he didn't.
Because in the middle of the series where they had that monk trilogy, the symbol looked like Omega's helmet, and then in the end of the episode there was a spaceship stuck by a black hole, which is where Omega got stuck inside a black hole in an anti-matter universe.
And that year, or the year before, we went to the Doctor Who experience together, and the Omega outfit that was there before was gone. Yeah. So we were convinced that someone was like dressed up in it for the episode, but it never happened. But
must have been just taking it for repairs or cleaning or whatnot. But
we were literally like creating so much backing of how Omega would be coming back, but never did.
Didn't happen. So I would love to see Omega come back. And the thing is, with a character like Omega, you can cast a top quality actor like in that role. You know, if Omega's going to be a villain, it needs to be a good actor. You know, it needs to be a really high, like, top name. You know.
Well, with Omega, you don't see what he looks like because he's wearing the helmet, isn't it?
Yes, and then when he appears in the other one, he appears as Peter Davison. Like, he takes off his mask and he's Peter Davison. So, yeah, we don't see really, because he's got a massive bucket head.
See, I think a great voice for Omega would have been James Earl Jones, but he's dead now, isn't he?
Is he? I'm not sure.
I think he might be dead.
That might be news to me, Dan. You've ruined...
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's alive. I'm sorry, James.
But anyway, if you're going to cast in someone as Omega who's going to be wearing a bucket head, you got to go for the voice, don't you?
Yeah. You need a good voice. Who do you think Neil Patrick Harris will be playing?
I was convinced he was the toy maker from the first image. Do you know? He said in the first image they released with him kind of like in a... Dave Evans said just retired. James Earl Jones is still alive. He's just retired.
Okay. Sorry, James.
Brian Blessed does the voice of Omega. Brian Blessed! No, this would be funny. But yeah, I Neil Patrick Harris, I was convinced, you know, because he has like the whole hair thing, you know, the glasses, you know, the little tools in his. I was like, he looks like kind of like one of Santa's elves, you know, like someone who you'd think would be in a toy shop. And I was like,
but it's interesting because you have that picture, and then obviously we've had the leaked videos from when they were filming in Bristol outside. And he looks very different in that video because he has like a bit of white makeup and like I think it's like a little bit of lipstick or whatever, you know, some makeup on his face.
He looks more like a circus showman, doesn't he?
Yeah, very different to the toy maker thing as you mentioned with the glasses and everything.
But then the toy maker's thing is all about changing and warping reality to whatever he wants it to be.
But there was a leaked picture again from Bristol when they were filming in there, and like a shop had been turned into like a toy store on the front, a classic.
I had seen the image of a plaque saying "Toy Maker of the Year." So, like this, maybe the thing is, everything is pointing to it. So, is this Russell T Davies's way of throwing us sort of a red herring? I don't know. I think Neil Patrick Harris would make an amazing villain. Like I don't know whether you saw the new Matrix movie.
No.
So he's in that, and I wasn't expecting to see him, but he is the villain in that, and like he was really good. Like he's a fantastic actor. Like I've seen him in a few things. Fantastic actor, but like seeing him as a villain in that, and of course he's in Netflix's series of unfortunate events as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't seen that, and that's also a really weird, creepy character.
I just started watching. Well, I say just started. Recently, I started watching How I Met Your Mother because it's something I'd never seen before. Even though he's not a villain in that, and it's more of a comedy, he still is great in that.
He's stand out, you know. He's one of those actors that steals the show. So, can you imagine him against David Tennant?
Yeah,
hero and villain.
It's going to be
entertaining. Exciting. It's going to be exciting, and I think he would make a good fit for the toy maker. But if he's something else entirely, like, who knows? Maybe he's the meddling monk pretending to be the toy maker.
What has the toy maker done before?
He was only ever in that one episode called The Celestial Toy Maker, but it's mostly missing. It's William Hartnell. It's like the first Doctor episode, but he was in the it was in that episode, and it's kind of considered a classic, but most of the episodes are lost. So
what does he do in there?
He kind of makes them play these weird games, you know, like in a world, you know, because he can manipulate the game to be his own rules, you know, and they're sort of trapped in this game. So definitely they could be pulling something off like that again, but on a much bigger scale. And you know, the funny thing is, like, despite everything, the episode of Can You Hear Me? Is it Can You Hear Me from Chris Chibnall's series 12? The toy maker gets a mention in that episode. Do you remember?
Not really. No, I've only seen that episode once.
So, it was just, I thought it was an interesting sort of cameo or like nod, because this guy, the villain of the episode, the guy with the creepy fingers, they were like the Eternals, or one of the Eternals or whatever in the Doctor Who lore. And then he's talking to the Doctor, and he's like, the toy maker would be impressed. And like, I am absolutely sure that Chris Chibnall had no idea what was coming. But if Neil Patrick Harris does turn out to be the toy maker, it would be an interesting link. Maybe he's been watching for a while the Doctor from wherever he's been, and he's about to make his appearance again.
Dave Bem says we'd love to see Toby Jones back. Yes, absolutely. Toby Jones is a great actor, and he was great in Amy's Choice. So, yeah, we'd definitely love to have him back. I don't know how they would necessarily do that.
Yeah, the thing is, Toby Jones could easily come back because of the nature of the Dream Lord, right? He could easily come back, whether or not he's. Because the thing is, the Dream Lord, like, wasn't like really playing the Dream Lord. Like he was playing an aspect of, you know, the Doctor, right? In that episode. So like, he could easily come back again, not as the Dream Lord, but as an aspect of the Doctor's character in villainy.
Well, because like they could. I'm trying to think how they could bring him back in an episode. Let's say it's still the Dream Lord again. How they could bring him back, but not do basically the exact same thing as Amy's Choice.
Yeah.
Maybe like an entire. I don't know.
I was
gonna say maybe an entire series was like a dream, but then I think people would get pretty annoyed at that, because then you'd feel like the whole series was a waste.
Yeah, I think you'd have to go the route of go like deep down somewhere inside the Doctor is that personality. And what happens when that personality maybe escapes and has a body of its own, like a physical, tangible body, you know? So, yeah, I agree. Like, he was great in that episode. And it would be really good to see, you know, actors like that come back, you know, actors like him, Neil Patrick Harris, like, in the show, playing great villains, do you know? Yeah. So I had checked when the anniversary is next year, and it's on the Thursday, right? Because it adds one day from what it is this year, and so that would mean if it was like a 3-day bonanza, as you put it. That would be a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday episodes of Doctor Who, a trio of specials. Alternatively, it could be 3 Saturdays. But this is what I was saying to you about, like, is there going to be like a mini series? Like, because if you have 3 episodes in November, you could put them out all on Saturdays, but then it would just be like having a normal series, you know? Or maybe you have 2 on the Saturdays and 1 on the actual day, you know?
That's the thing. I feel like you'd want to have one of the episodes.
Yeah.
On the date.
Even if it's Thursday, because this is what happened last time, right? It didn't matter what day it was. It was on the November 23rd because that is the day.
Yeah, you know, in 2013 when it came out, obviously came out on the Saturday. Was that the actual day as well, the 23rd?
Let me check.
If it was, that's very fortunate for Moffat that happened.
Let's have a look, shall we? In 2013, it was on a Saturday. Yeah, it was.
That's so lucky. He's so charming.
Yeah, no, that was that actually, because they actually did show that one in cinemas and things, so like it makes it easier, right? It's a Saturday, it's the weekend, everyone will want to go. But yeah,
I just watched it at my nana's, but I can imagine it being quite good to watch in the cinema as well.
Yeah, it would be good. If they show any of the new episodes in cinemas for the 60th anniversary, I would love to go and take the opportunity to go and watch it there.
This thing, because there's 3 individual episodes, I don't know if they would show them in the cinema.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Unless maybe the final episode,
maybe the final, yeah. Who knows? Maybe the first episode, because then you'd have like you don't have to have seen the other ones. It's the first one, you know.
And also as well, like, with these 3 episodes, how's the story going to be? Is it going to be like 3 episodes, but they literally all continue on from each other? Or will there be time passes a little bit between the episodes?
I think it would be more like what he's done before, really. You know, individual specials with an underlying story. Like David
Really?
Tennant.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, there's some filming photos and things, and, you know, from the trailer, you see, like, exploding trucks on the streets and things like that, you know? It's like, kind of like, how do you connect the exploding trucks and the unit appearances that some people have seen with Neil Patrick Harris in Bristol, you know, dressed up as a circus showman with a toy shop and everything, you know? The
rumours of Beep the Meat making an appearance.
Yeah. You can't have 3 episodes on for the 60th anniversary with Beep the Meep, you know?
It'll be interesting to see if that does actually happen.
Unless it is going to be like that, but like continuously through the 3, you know, so that like there's sort of individual stories in themselves, but they do have like, maybe because David Tennant saves Beep the Meep or whatever in the first special, Beep the Meep is an ally against Neil Patrick Harris in the finale, you know, something like that. I don't know. I just feel like they're going to be individual stories with underlying things, you know, that will all sort of come together in the finale. I just get that impression. But then again, I don't know, because they haven't shown us like that much at all, really, you know. Showed us a few things,
it was
just
like 15-20 seconds.
I know. And David Tennant himself has said, like, we filmed so much stuff behind closed doors, like, you haven't seen anything yet. So
this is what gets me excited. Is that we've not even seen most of it.
Yeah, exactly. Big things are coming, and we just have to kind of wait to be surprised, you know. Dave says, we had Hartnell recast. What about second and third, as they're the only ones we have not really seen in New Who? I've always wanted to see John Pertwee's son do a version of the Third Doctor, and this is because his son is the spitting image of John Pertwee. Like, he looks so much like him.
I can look him up because I've not seen this.
Yeah, his name is Sean Pertwee, and he looks exactly like his father. And I'd seen him. He was in a show called Gotham. He plays Alfred, you know, the butler from Batman.
Yeah.
And he sounds like his father. Like he's like a clone. But I had
Just needs the hair.
yeah, he just needs the hair. But what I've heard him say before is that he doesn't want to step on his father's legacy. He wouldn't want to take on the role, which I respect. You know, as his decision as an actor. But I do think that he would smash it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I can imagine it being weird for him, you know, because he'd be playing a role his dad did. That'd be very
Yeah, and
very
John
strange.
Pertwee was like iconic as well. You know, he was you know that charming James Bond like doctor. You know, the scientist. You know, who drives around in his yellow car. You know, it's I have no doubt that he could do it, but like I respect his decision as an actor to not want to do it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's fair enough. But he would be great.
yeah. The other the second Doctor, I had seen a lot of people say that what's his name? I think his name's Harry Melling. Dudley from Harry Potter would do like could be a good Patrick Troughton because he's actually Patrick Troughton's grandson. Like he's actually
Keep it in the families.
Yeah, no, but it like you know, I could see that happening. Whether it would happen, I don't know. Yeah, it's just funny why they went, you know, with David Bradley, you know, with the first Doctor, and then they haven't like thought of doing anything else, you know. I don't know. I think maybe it was just because, you know, he was in that documentary, you know, he played William Hartnell in that documentary for the 50th anniversary, Adventure in Time and Space. And then they kind of saw that, we've got an opportunity here to, you know, use him as the Doctor, and then it worked. But like,
that episode Twice Upon a Time, that was never meant to happen. You know, Moffat only, you know, he was supposed to, Moffat and Capaldi and everyone was supposed to leave in the Doctor Falls, but then Chibnall said how he didn't want to start in a Christmas episode and all that stuff. He wanted to start in his own series. So Moffat was like, oh, okay, let's do one more episode then. So he had to come up with an idea and then came up with David Bradley as first Doctor, continuing that idea into the episode. But
yeah,
do you think we'll have Christmas episodes back yearly?
I think there's a really good chance. Like, I know you mentioned earlier on in the stream about how you think there would be a festive episode with Ncuti.
Yeah, there's been rumours of it.
Yeah, because it specifically says in the official BBC like website that they'll have 3 specials with David Tennant, and Ncuti's Doctor will take over the role of the Doctor as the 15th Doctor over the festive period. Like, what does this mean if not you get the 3 specials with David Tennant in November and a Christmas special with Ncuti's, you know, in 2023, you know? Like, to start off, you know, his era. And it would be a good sort of, you know, homage to the way he did it last time, you know, when he first dealt with the regeneration. He had this full series with Christopher Eccleston, and David Tennant's first appearance was in the Christmas special, you know, and then it became regenerations and Christmas specials rather than, you know, first appearances. But I think there's a really good chance of that. And even David Tennant was mad about the Christmas specials, wasn't he? I remember seeing an interview with him, and he was like, "Yeah, they don't do the Christmas specials anymore. I miss this."
I think it was just nice to have on Christmas, but from what I read, Chibnall didn't want to do it because he didn't have any ideas.
Yeah.
And that's not a good start for a new showrunner when he doesn't have any ideas of what to do for a Christmas episode. Like,
and the thing is, you know, if you take the all of the Christmas specials, they're not the best episodes of all time, are they? You know, if you look at them, there've been a few good ones, but like, especially sort of as time went on, they kind of got a bit more, you know, poorer.
I think Russell always prioritised them.
Yeah.
Moffat, I think, as it went on, did a little bit less and less. And then, I don't know, makes it a bit difficult.
The thing is, it was always, like, even though the episodes weren't always the best, it was always nice to watch on Christmas, and it was always nice to link series together, you know, because it's always nice to see the time passing, Do you know? You see them in one series, and you see them like going from the time in that one series to Christmas time, and then after Christmas, a new series. You know, you can see time passing through like you know in these you know in like American shows where they have like 20 episodes in a series, and then they have like a Thanksgiving episode, and then you have like a Christmas episode 3 weeks later, because like that's the timing of it all. You can see time passing for the characters through the appearances of these songs. You know, you have Halloween episodes as well. Like, it's good to see the time passing that way in the shows in Doctor Who as well, using the Christmas specials.
Yeah, I think Russell will continue with them. It was something he loved.
Yeah, for sure. New companion then. What do you think?
I have no idea. I've not seen her in anything before, so I literally have. Same as Shooty, I've not seen him in anything. So actor-wise, I don't know how these people are. What about you? What do you think?
Well, the funny thing is, Rebecca, my wife, she said to me, like, when we had no idea who was going to be the next Doctor, she said, "Oh, there's this guy in Sex Education that he just has that Doctor quality." Like to be the Doctor, you need to be a little bit like fun. You need to have that natural comedy, don't you? And he said this actor has that. He has that spark. And then when I was looking at my phone the day they announced it, I was like, oh, new Doctor, you know, Ncuti Gatwa. And then she was like, Ncuti Gatwa? That's the guy I was saying to you. Like, he's the one. And I was like, so if she put a bet on that, you know, she could have had some return on that. But no. And then I did actually go and watch that first series. I know there's a couple, but I watched the first series of Sex Education on Netflix. And no, he does. He's the star of the show. Like, really, like he's the scene stealer in that show, and he was fantastic. He does have that natural funniness, you know. Rebecca put it quite well in the show. You know, when he laughs, you know, his laughter is infectious. You know, it makes you smile, it makes you laugh, and I think that he's gonna be great. You know, because what made my decision that he was going to be really good is because he does play this funny character, but even in the first series, like, his character goes from this funny character to dark, like serious, and I was like, wow, like, that's the Doctor right there. You know, he is funny, but he is serious. You know, he is hundreds of years old. And that was the moment that I was like, yeah, I think this is a good bit of casting. The companion I've not seen, because she's from Corrie, right? Coronation Street. Yeah. I don't really watch Corrie, so I didn't really know anything about her acting capabilities. But she was born in 2004, right? She's quite young.
Yeah, she was less than a year old when Christopher Eccleston regenerated into David Tennant.
Man. Like,
which is scary.
It makes me feel old.
I know. We're now in the stage where footballers and actors and things
are younger than us.
Yeah, are younger than us, and I don't like it, John. I don't like it.
Yeah, but so I don't know. Like how she's gonna appear in the show after David Tennant, you know, appears again, you know, and she was like. Such, you know, she wouldn't even know what a TV is like when she's like less than a year old, you know, like. So yeah, it's gonna be funny, but I've no doubt that Russell T Davies is cast, like, because you know, apparently that Ncuti was there for the auditions, you know, to look at like the chemistry that they have like on screen and stuff. So I've no doubt that this pairing will be a good one.
Yeah, he said in a video that was put out on Doctor Who YouTube and Twitter that when she left her audition, he said to Russell, "This is going to be the next companion."
Yeah.
So if Ncuti was that impressed with her, then you know, she must have had a very good audition.
Yeah, must be. Rebecca says in the chat, I should work with casting. Yes, so Since you
Drop Russell a DM.
Yeah, you got yeah. Go ask Russell T. You know, she saw the next Doctor. You know, potentially first. Who knows? Yeah, that was really good. Are you excited then? Go on, sum it up for me. How, like, take me through the past and the future. Because the Doctor Who's now in its 59th year, it's going to turn 60. Tell me your summary of Doctor Who from 2005, right, to now, and your sort of thoughts on the future.
That's a lot.
I know it's a lot. Like, as best as you can. As best as you can.
I'm not good with words, John. You know this. Right. How to put it? This, I think, in terms of the future, this is something that was needed for the show. In terms of Russell T coming back, Ncuti being the Doctor, it's an exciting time. Having Disney now being a partner with Doctor Who, something that couldn't before. It will improve upon the past, but not changing too much as well. But improve upon in terms of, you know, maybe the quality of it and things like that. The actors that can be in the show as well, and hopefully now, I know in the past when, especially when Russell T was in charge early on, there was problems with when they were actually producing the episodes and everything and recording. They would have problems with sets and places that they need to film and things like that. Hopefully now, you know, things will be a lot smoother, and that's what it seemed like so far. So hopefully just be a smoother, nicer output of Doctor Who, but also something that more people will come into, not just in the UK but worldwide, and that this means the Doctor Who will be able to continue for more and more years, and we'll be able to enjoy it for that time as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think the thing is, when Doctor Who came in 2005, like, it captured me and Daniel, because we were the same age back in 2005. Like, we were the small child who would, like, avidly wait for for it to come on TV every Saturday, and then we would talk about it for hours, like we still do, like, now. And this is the thing. Russell T was the one who captured, like, audiences with his writing. Christopher Eccleston with his performance as the Doctor, followed by David Tennant. You know, over the years, right, as we've grown older, like, we can see the difference in, like, the quality of writing, production, episodes. You know, it's not just that that we have favor for one era more than another. Like, we genuinely criticize the show if, you know, we don't think it's been good. This is not just Chris Chibnall era. This is like Moffat era. If there was an episode that was poor, you know, we talk about it. Like, a lot of fans in recent years have become very outspoken about, you know, Doctor Who, you know, and targeting other people as well for their views on the series, you know. And, like, this is what bothers me, you know. Like, I can criticize Chris Chibnall's writing. I wasn't the biggest fan of his era, you know. And what I hope from the future is we don't get another issue where Russell T Davies will write that Tegan falls down an elevator shaft and is totally fine. You know, plot points like this I hope to be avoided in the future, you know. And this is this kind of criticisms that I have that, you know, I think need to happen. Otherwise, you know, you still kind of end up with this kind of mid-level. It'll never reach the heights that it once did, you know. And Doctor Who can reach some like highs of storytelling and production and music and whatnot. So I'm hoping, like, you could, like, if you enjoy the Chris Chibnall era, like, fair play, you know, nothing against that. But, like, I hope that Russell T Davies' new era, Ncuti, and David Tennant can once again sort of bring that high level so that everyone can sort of be in concurrence that, you know, I want to watch the show because it's good and I'm enjoying it, you know, rather than it's controversial, you know, and there's a divide. I want that sort of togetherness back, and hopefully they can bring this.
And another thing as well is, like, you know, you had the Loki series with Marvel come out, and like the ideas behind that, that is what Doctor Who should be aiming for, and I feel like we've fallen short of that with Chibnall in charge. And I'm not saying we need to be like Loki, like have exactly the things like that, but the ideas that they have behind it and how it is now, that is what I think.
Yeah.
Doctor Who should be looking at that sort of thing and, you know, trying to do something a bit similar, but obviously different and more like Doctor Who, but with little aspects of those things sprinkled into it. And yeah, hopefully we'll get that with Russell T.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So on that note, you said you didn't have a way with words, Dan. I'm only going to ask you for single words now, because it's time to do a couple of Doctor Who Mad Libs to close off. So I need to get a pen to write down. I don't have one, so if you'll excuse me for a second, I think I can pick one up from across the room here.
If only you had a TARDIS to go back in time and bet on Shooty being the Doctor.
If only. Yes, it would have been good. So, again, anyone who's watching can add words or adjectives or whatever is necessary for the stories that I'm about to read out. So go on, let's do one just you, Daniel, first of all.
All right.
This one is called I'm the Doctor, and I imagine it's kind of like well, I won't spoil it for you, but okay. I need from you an exclamation.
Sorry, I just thought of one, but it's probably not appropriate.
Yeah, we'll try and keep it as appropriate as we can, but we're not having R-rated Doctor Who.
Oh, hang on. In the chat, Dave Bevan saying, all the best from me. Thanks for the chat. See Mr. B from St. John's. Thank you for joining us, Dave. Yeah. We hope you've had... Sorry, John, you see.
Yeah, St. John's. Man, I didn't realise that. But yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, and welcome anytime. Yeah, I do Doctor Who videos on this channel. So like, if you ever want to watch those ones, yeah, go back. I've got loads of like reviews of episodes and whatnot. But yeah, wow. I've been shocked. Wow, it's really nice to have you on the stream, man. Amazing, good stuff. Take care then, and have a good evening, and yeah, see you soon, hopefully. So go on then, Daniel. An exclamation.
Wowzer.
That is an exclamation.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. I need a noun. Do you remember what a noun is? A noun is a thing.
Can you give me an example, please?
Like, a water bottle is a noun, like, because it's a thing. A phone is a noun.
Oh, okay.
And
a
like,
lamppost.
Okay. Here we go. Lamppost. Now I need a part of the body. No R-rated Doctor Who.
Toenail.
Okay, and now I need another noun.
Chicken.
Okay, cool. Now I need a verb ending in ing. No R-rated Doctor Who.
Slapping.
Okay. Now, an adjective. Like a describing word.
Like,
a word that describes what something is. Like, a descriptive word. Like big or small or,
okay.
This kind of thing. Something that describes a noun.
Fast? Can I say fast?
Yeah, fast is good. Now I need a number.
7,001.
Okay, cool. And now I need another noun.
That's a thing, right?
And that's a thing, yeah.
Tablecloth.
Okay. Another noun.
A gold-plated toilet.
Oh my word. Oh, my pen is running out. No! I need a new pen. Oh my gosh. Alright, while I find one, Daniel's going to sing you the Doctor Who theme tune.
Is that good enough?
It's good enough. Keep going. There we go. I've got a stack of pens now.
Hey.
So, there we go. So, a gold-plated toilet. Now you're getting into it, Dan. Now I need another verb ending in ing.
Sleepwalking.
Nice. That's really cool. Another part of the body.
Nose hair.
Okay. Now, a descriptive word. An adjective.
Yeah. Humongously small.
Okay. I like how more colourful these have become. Now I need an animal.
Dwarf hamster.
Okay, cool. Why dwarf hamster?
They're just so small and cute.
Okay, now I need a body part that's plural.
So like shoulders.
Yeah.
Shoulders.
Okay, cool. And I need a plural noun. So like something but plural.
Okay. Ciders.
Ciders. Okay, cool. Right, now I need two nouns and a colour.
Okay, two nouns. Apple.
Yeah.
TARDIS.
Cool.
Indigo.
Indigo. Okay. Are you ready for Doctor Who written by Dan?
Yes.
Wowzer! I shout as the last of the regeneration energy fades. Every lamppost of my toenail has been rewritten. And the chicken that I once was is no more. But I am alive, very much so. Slapping to my feet, it finally strikes me. What do I look like? Am I fast? Or do I have 7,001 heads? Oh, and what about a tablecloth? I've never been one of those before. I begin to take inventory of my new gold-plated toilet, starting by sleepwalking. Right. Starting by sleepwalking, specifically my nose hair. That's odd. It feels humongously small. And a little bit like a dwarf hamster. And my shoulders, they feel like they are the size of ciders. Everything is new, and yet I'm the same apple I've always been. One thing is certain. I am still the TARDIS. Oh, and my hair. Please tell me it's indigo. That was remarkable, Dan. I think I preferred... my favourite line was, I begin to take inventory of my new gold-plated toilet, and my nose hairs are humongously small.
Oh, sorry, but the nose hair bit just, sent me.
Yeah. Okay, okay.
My days.
Different one. That was the regeneration, right?
Okay.
So now we are into a full adventure. This one is called A Close Call.
Okay.
So, Dan, I need a silly word. Lots of silly words, Dan. I need one.
Wibbly wobbly.
Cool. Wibbly wobbly. Now I need a noun.
Stamp.
Stamp. As in the thing you put on letters.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Another noun.
Water bottle.
Oh, I've had water bottle from Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now
Yeah.
I need a colour.
Fiery red.
Fiery red. Nice. Like the Welsh dragon.
Oh, yes.
Adjective. Describing word. Describe to me something.
Okay. That's not ing.
Descriptive word.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I've had fascinating from Rebecca.
Oh, yeah, that'll do.
Now I need a verb. So whereas a verb ending in ing is like slapping, like you said before, the verb would be slap.
Oh, okay. Hyperventilate.
Cool. Body part.
Nipple.
Well, okay. Since you've said it, it's going in. Plural noun.
I did apple before. Let's do oranges.
Oranges. Now I need an ing word, a verb. Ing.
Gasping.
Gasping. Plural noun again.
Crisps.
Crisps. From Rebecca. Now I need an adverb. So an adverb is like the one where you describe something that you're doing. So like if you're walking, then quickly would be the adverb because you're describing how you're doing it.
Oh. Yeah, let's do quickly. Too quickly.
Okay, quickly.
I'll do.
now I need a descriptive word, adjective. Moist. Okay. Everyone, all of the viewers are just like cringing now as I have to say this word.
Yeah.
Verb. So again, not the ing form.
Slap.
Slap again. Slap.
Come
Okay.
on, Daniel.
How about a noun?
Jacket.
And a plural body part.
No name.
Years.
Years. And a noun.
Primary school.
Okay. And an adjective.
Is this like giant?
Yeah.
Giant.
Giant. And finally a noun.
You.
Pills.
Yeah.
Pills.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, two pills.
Well, it has to be pill because it's a plural.
Okay,
It's not
yeah,
plural.
Pill.
Okay, so this one is called A Close Call. And after reading through, like, while I was doing the notes, it is a 13th Doctor story. Right, so it has
Okay.
companions in it that you know from this era.
Okay.
Wibbly wobbly, shouted the Doctor. Wibbly wobbly, shouted the Doctor as she ran down the corridor of the space stamp. Behind her, a massive water bottle-shaped shadow tore across the fiery red wall. The alien cried out, "You are too fascinating, Doctor. Hyperventilate all you want, but I'll crush you under my nipple." And oh my word. And then I'll destroy those oranges that you travel with. The Doctor looked around for her missing friends and called out, "Yaz, Graham, where have you gone?" "Over here, Doc," called Graham. "We're gasping behind this pile of crisps." "Stay put," the Doctor replied quickly. "I'll go get the TARDIS. If that moist alien sees you, just slap as hard as you can." The Doctor turned and ran directly towards the angry jacket and slid beneath the alien's scaly ears. She reached for the primary school that hung around her neck and used it to unlock the TARDIS. "You're as giant as Telosian pill, as a Telosian pill," the Doctor said, as the TARDIS doors slammed shut. Oh my!
I will crush you under my nipple.
Oh my word! That couldn't have gone any more, any better. I think. All right, there's one more. This is the finale.
Okay.
So this is how we're going to end the stream. So let's make it a good one, Dan. Right?
Oh, I feel like I've done as much as I can, John.
Dig deep. You gotta. Right. I need a sound.
Wait, do I have to like make a sound like?
It could be like a description. It could be, or you could be like the sound of like a bell ringing, or I don't know, anything like.
Ah, okay. The sound of a cow mooing.
Okay, I can work with that.
Yeah, nice. Okay, okay.
Okay. Adverb, so something like quickly that describes something that you do.
Let's do the opposite slowly.
Slowly. Okay. Adjective, describe something.
Which one's adjective?
Something that describes something.
Oh, tentacly.
Okay, cool. How do you even spell that? I'll know.
Tentacle with a Y.
There you go. Okay. Another adjective.
Slippery.
Okay. Another adjective.
Hairy.
Okay. Now I need a past verb. So like walked, like, you know, something that you did in the past.
Oh, drank.
Okay. Another, well, I need two adjectives, two descriptive words.
Smelly.
Okay, smelly.
And stupid.
Stupid, okay. Adverb, so something that describes what you're doing. Quickly,
Give
slowly.
me another example.
Quickly, slowly, stuff like that.
Okay, oh, I don't know.
Imagine something like if you're walking or you're working peacefully. Peacefully. You're working peacefully. I'll put peacefully in there.
Yeah, too peacefully.
Now I need a noun and another adverb.
Okay, noun, Tesco.
Tesco, cool. And another adverb.
Which one's adverb?
The one where it describes what you're doing.
Oh, damn it. What's the opposite of peacefully?
I don't even know. Peacefully. Freakishly.
Okay, yeah, freakishly.
I'll update it. So I'll roll with it. Okay. Past verb. So what you did do.
Worked out.
Okay. Okay. Verb. Something that you're doing currently.
Sniffing.
Okay, so the verb, yeah, sniff. Adjective. Describe something.
Fluffy.
Okay, cool. Another adjective.
Can I describe something as green?
Yes, because that's technically a descriptive word.
Okay, green.
Okay, now a verb ing.
Sleeping.
Cool. Now a noun.
Bed.
Okay, cool. Another verb ing.
Wrestling.
Cool. Now I need a noun and an adjective.
Noun. Bathtub. And adjective.
Mm-hmm.
Scary. Have I done scary before?
No, I don't think you have actually. It's quite a
Yeah,
good one.
just do scary.
Now I need 2 adjectives. 2 more adjectives to describe something.
Uh,
You can do
skinny.
it. Skinny.
Yeah.
And
Long.
Now I need a noun. A few more left. You're almost there, Dan. You got this. TV. Now 2 more adjectives.
2 more adjectives.
Wow. Any advances on that?
What did she say?
Fat and ugly.
Do ugly.
Okay. Ugly.
And then
Old.
yeah, old. Yeah.
And finally, I need a verb.
Tickling.
Okay, cool. Okay, we're ready. Final, the finale.
Yes.
This is Dan's season finale. Okay, so sets the scene. Inside the TARDIS rages the most epic battle between the Doctor and the Master for the ultimate sonic screwdriver. Donna turns around slowly from her place inside the tentacly TARDIS. She could hear the Doctor screaming in slippery jealousy and the hairy laughter that only the Master could accomplish. Donna ran outside, where she drank. The Doctor and the Master in smelly combat over a stupid sonic screwdriver. She asked them what they were doing, but the Doctor just ran peacefully around the Master and seized the screwdriver. The Master, unable to control his rage, brought about his bathtub. His bathtub. Wait a minute. No, his Tesco of freakish oods. Shocked, the Doctor worked out the sonic screwdriver, unfortunately giving K9 a chance to sniff away with it. Infuriated, the Master sent out his fluffy ood army after the green dog. Donna was currently sleeping behind the bed. Meanwhile, K9 was wrestling the Oods, who seemed to be under some kind of scary bathtub, which impaired their ability to walk. Right. Finally, catching up to K9, the Doctor tries his best to win a skinny tug-of-war with the long robotic dog, who thought the screwdriver was some sort of TV, and wanted to bury it. As ugly as the Doctor is, K9 is old and won the epic battle for the screwdriver, leaving the Doctor and the Master to tickle paper scissors over the freedom of the Ood army. And thus ends the series written by Daniel. The second one was truly the standout episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I had to rate the series,
That
I think...
was your magnum opus.
Yeah, the second episode is the one for people to watch and root for. Yeah,
definitely. Solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, on that note, we've I think this has been longer than last year's stream, but we had loads to talk about, didn't we? So we're going to end the stream here. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Do click like and subscribe for more videos on this channel. Do check out all of my Doctor Who videos and our gaming channel, where I play all of the Doctor Who video games that came out recently. And thanks, Dan, for hopping on. We managed to do it in the end, despite laptop problems. And we'll have to do this again very soon. And
yes. Yeah, thank you for having me on.
No worries, no worries. And we'll have to think of something that we can do next year for the 60th anniversary of the show.
We'll have episodes to talk about next year.
We'll have episodes to talk about. And we'll have to, come up with something big, something as momentous as that occasion. 60 years of the show that we all love. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and have a good evening and happy Doctor Who Day.
Happy Doctor Who Day.
Bye.